Hello, this is going to be Game 4 of our Climb to Legend. If you hear me talking in the background, that's because I was trying to do commentary and play at the same time. Looking back though, the game noise was much louder than my own voice, so I'm deciding to just stick with doing voiceovers after the games and editing it in. On the plus side, we get to do some 20/20 hindsight, which is always good. I think this part of the video is me telling, or me saying that I would be talking during the gameplay, which in the end I'm not. Well, I am, but you can barely hear me. Here we go, up against Paladin. So Paladin, there's hand buff Paladin, there's odd Paladin, and more recently, there's now Murloc Paladin is gaining popularity. I had not thought of the Murloc Paladin as I was doing my mulligan. I was thinking more it could just be a Reno variant. I've seen a lot of those recently. But I was thinking mostly about hand buff Paladin. So I wanted to keep the Spellbreaker for that. And I thought the Tar Creeper was good enough against odd or hand buff Paladin. I think against Murloc Paladin I would have kept the Tar Creeper. I might have mulliganed the Spellbreaker. And it does happen to be Murloc Paladin. I'm going to coin the 2/3. It's a good body against a 1/2. Thinking we have Wrath or the Hero Power as a follow-up play. They play their Zephyrus, so the idea is that they draw through their deck with their Tip the Scales, so that's why they run Zephyrus. And that's why it's not active. We just Wrath the 3/2, trade into the 2/1. Against Murlocs, like any Murloc deck, you just want to keep the board clear of Murlocs. They play the new Underlight Angling Rod, which is kind of what brought this deck to light, in Wild at least. Gonna play the Tar Creeper. They can take a hit from the Rod and still leave something behind that we can use to trade into their board with. This turn, I want to clear off as many Murlocs as I can while continuing to build up our own board for future clearing of Murlocs. This game, we got kind of lucky because they did not get the combo of Prismatic Lens into Tip the Scales on turn 5. So it looks like they just kind of got the Murloc hand. They clear off our board with the War Leader. I just want to make 2 3/2s because that's really good against his board. His 1/1 can't do anything, and they can both trade into the War Leader. One thing you might notice with this deck is that we try to play for the board a lot like it's almost arena. It's kind of the mentality you want to have, because we do not have many board wipes for a control deck. We just have Poison Seeds and Zephyrus. The main way we keep the board clear is with our minions. They have the Cold Light Seer here, which is just really good, although he doesn't trade into our 3/1, thinking that we'll just send them both in, which allows us to silence his 3/3, which of course we want to trade into. And the thing I'm considering here is, do I want to kill off his 1/3 or his 2/3 with my remaining 3/2? I decide to go with the 1/3, and this is because his main response to that would be to send in his 1/5 to finish off our 3/2. And if that's attacking our 3/1 and not our face or our 4/3, I'm pretty happy. He realizes that we are a board-centric deck and learns to start clearing our board, which is well played from our opponent. So this turn, we're happy we draw Zephyrus. It's a board wipe against Tip the Scales, which is probably coming next turn. Although, I'm thinking maybe they don't have Tip the Scales, because if they did, they wouldn't have played their Mermy, their 1/1 with Reborn, because they can't trade it off, they can't remove that board space, meaning that's one less Murloc to be pulled with Tip the Scales. I'm thinking of Malfurion, I'm thinking of Elise. Elise will duplicate Zephyrus, so we will essentially have 2 board wipes with 2 Zephyrus. In the end, I figure I'll just go for Elise. And then my first thought is I'll just pass, Hero Power pass, and then I get scared of overdrawing, so I decide to play my Zephyrus in hopes of a backstab. And this was a misplay, because we don't care about overdrawing at this point. We just want to make sure we have 2 board wipes, and we just threw one away by playing a Zephyrus. And not only that, he doesn't offer me backstab, so we overdraw anyways. No Tip the Scales from our opponent. But Toxfin plus Scale Lord, which is pretty brutal. They kill off our Elise without any issue. And I'm facing down a board of Murlocs with only 1 Zephyrus, and they have played 0 of their Tip the Scales. I decided to play the Natali Celine, remove their 1/5 Poisonous, Put an 8/6 on the board. They play Tarim. And a War Leader. And they almost kill us right here. We go all the way down to 1. But little do they know, we have 2 Renos in our hand thanks to the Elise. Not only do we have 2 Renos, but we also have 2 shield blocks for Druid. Howl, Ferocious Howls. I guess I was considering Zephyrus, but then I realized I can't even twist this turn because I don't have enough mana. And I'm really glad we didn't twist because Howl Reno makes it really hard for them to lethal us next turn, and we can guarantee the twist with the Zephyrus. In fact, we can brand Zephyrus for 2 brawls, which gives us 2 board wipes so we can deal with this board as well as their Tip the Scales. At least one of their Tip the Scales. Their third Tip the Scales, I don't know how we're going to deal with that yet. Ooh, looks like I almost missed the brand line, but I realize it before it's too late. Brand Zephyrus for 2 brawls. And Zephyrus wins. That's great for us. Tip the Scales. Good job clearing off our Zephyrus so we can't Zola it. But we are ready. We do have the second brawl thanks to Bran. And with Surging Oasis, we can clear whatever comes out of this. Just a 1/1. We'll play the Oasis with 2 3/3s, so we have 2 minions to remove whatever comes out of this Murloc Paladin next. Which is not Tip the Scales to our relief. And with that, it's looking like we've pretty much won. We've got another Reno, we've got a Howl, we've got 2 Malfurions, and now we do our Mishfin. This turn, I think we definitely Reno. The question is, what do we do with the Reno? I like the Murloc play. Puts 2 4/2s on the board, and we use this life loss before we Reno, so it's essentially for free. And here the Paladin concedes. Good game from our opponent. They brought us down to 1. We made a misplay, but they only drew 1 Tip the Scales, and they didn't get it on turn 5, so we'll take it.